All right, so today we're going to dive into Chapter 7 of Carlos E. Perez's Artificial Empathy.
Okay.
It's Level 2, Generative Selves.
Right.
And so get ready to explore how living things generate themselves from within
Yeah.
and what that could mean for AI.
Hmm.
We're going to be talking about strange loops,
Okay.
inside-out architecture, and even how human psychology ties into all of this.
It's really fascinating how Perez starts with something so fundamental to biology.
Yeah.
Like living things create and maintain themselves from the inside out.
Right.
And he uses it as like this lens to look at AI.
Yeah.
It really challenges our usual way of thinking about how we build intelligent systems.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely makes you think.
Yeah.
You can't build a human by just stacking parts together from the outside.
Right.
There's something more going on there.
Yeah.
So how does Perez connect this biological self-generation to the world of AI?
He brings in this concept from Douglas Hofstadter
Okay.
called the strange loop.
Strange loop?
Yeah, have you heard of that? No.
I don't think so.
So it's this idea of self-referential systems.
Okay.
Where a system can, in a way, become aware of itself through feedback loops.
Okay.
And Hofstadter argues that this is like the very essence of consciousness.
Okay, now my brain is starting to loop a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a strange loop in AI?
Sure.
Something I might actually recognize?
Yeah, so think about generative adversarial networks.
Okay.
Or GANs.
GANs.
You know those AI systems that create those crazy realistic images or music?
Right.
You have two networks.
Okay.
One generating output and the other critiquing it.
Okay.
And they just push each other in a constant feedback loop.
So instead of a programmer telling the AI exactly what to do,
Mm-hmm.
the AI is learning and evolving based on its own internal feedback.
Right.
Kind of like how our brains make sense of the world.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how Perez links GANs to Hofstadter's strange loops
Okay.
and this idea of self-generation in AI.
Right.
These systems aren't just responding to external input.
They're generating their own internal understanding.
So it's like the AI is bootstrapping itself into existence almost like a living organism.
Yeah,
That's pretty wild.
it is.
So are you saying that these strange loops are the key to creating truly intelligent AI?
Well, they're definitely like a crucial ingredient.
Okay.
But Perez goes even further
Okay.
and suggests that we need to shift our whole approach to AI architecture.
Okay.
He argues for what he calls an inside-out architecture.
Inside out.
Yeah.
What does that even mean in terms of AI?
So it's about moving away from the traditional input-output model,
Okay.
where AI just reacts to what it's given.
Right.
Instead, think about how our brains work.
Okay.
We have internal models of the world.
Yeah.
We're constantly making predictions
Uh-huh.
and updating those models based on new information.
So it's like our brains are building a simulation of reality
Yeah.
and using that simulation to navigate the world.
Exactly.
That's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is. And neuroscientist Anil Seth.
He calls this controlled hallucination.
Controlled hallucination.
We're not just passively observing reality.
Yeah.
We're actively constructing our own interpretation of it.
Wow. Okay, that's deep.
It is.
So how do we translate this inside-out thinking to AI?
So imagine an AI that instead of just reacting to input,
Yeah.
is constantly generating its own model of the world,
Okay.
using that model to anticipate what might happen next,
Okay.
and then acting on those predictions.
So it's a much more proactive and dynamic approach to intelligence.
Exactly.
That sounds incredibly powerful.
It is.
It seems like an AI with an inside-out architecture could learn and adapt much faster than a traditional system.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, it could use something called optimistic reasoning,
Optimistic reasoning.
which means acting based on its predictions even before it has all the information.
Oh, wow.
It's like taking calculated risks to learn and adapt more quickly.
But wouldn't that also make the AI prone to making mistakes? What if its predictions are wrong?
That's where the learning comes in.
Okay.
By constantly comparing its predictions to reality and updating its internal model,
Right.
the AI can refine its understanding and become more accurate over time.
So it's like a constant cycle of prediction, action, feedback, and learning,
Yeah.
all driven from within.
Uh-huh.
It really does mirror the way humans learn and adapt.
Precisely.
Okay.
And this leads to another important concept that Perez explores.
Okay.
Intrinsic motivation.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah. A lot of AI today is driven by these external rewards,
Yeah.
like winning a game
Okay.
or maximizing profit.
Right.
But Perez is arguing that, like, real intelligence,
Yeah.
The kind that we see in humans,
Okay.
it's fueled by something deeper.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What does intrinsic motivation look like in AI?
Right.
Is it like giving the AI feelings or desires or something?
It's not about feelings or desires.
Okay.
It's more about designing these systems that are driven by an inherent need to
Right.
learn and explore. Think about a child's curiosity,
Yeah.
their drive to master a skill,
Uh-huh.
or even just the joy of figuring something out.
Right.
These aren't rewards you can just program.
Yeah.
They're these internal drivers.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, humans are naturally curious.
Right.
We're driven by this desire to understand the world,
Yeah.
not just to get external rewards.
Exactly. And Perez believes we need to build AI systems that reflect the same drive.
Okay.
Systems that are motivated by the process of learning itself,
Okay.
not just the outcome.
Right.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because it forces us to consider, how human intelligence even develops in the first place.
So you're saying to build truly intelligent AI, we need to understand how our own intelligence evolved.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Perez brings in Robert Keegan's model
Okay.
of cognitive development to illustrate this point.
Okay.
It describes how individuals
Yeah.
progress through these stages
Uh-huh.
of understanding the world and their place in it.
Yeah.
Each stage is marked by an increasing ability to handle complexity and perspective.
Okay, can you give me an example of these stages? I'm having trouble visualizing how this applies to AI.
Yeah, so imagine a baby, right?
Right.
Their world is entirely centered on their immediate needs and sensations.
Okay.
But as they grow, they start to differentiate themselves from the world,
Yeah.
develop a sense of self,
Hmm.
then learn to see from other perspectives.
Right.
Each stage represents this widening circle of empathy and understanding.
So are you saying AI needs to go through a similar kind of growing up process?
Yeah,
Like learning to see the world in increasingly complex ways, just like humans do?
exactly. It's about moving beyond AI that can just crunch data or win games. It's about AI that can understand context,
Yeah.
nuance, and the interconnectedness of things.
Yeah.
AI that can actually learn and grow just like we do.
That's a fascinating idea.
Yes?
But how do we actually apply these developmental stages to AI?
Yeah.
It seems like a huge leap.
It is a challenge,
Okay.
but also an incredible opportunity.
Okay.
By studying these stages, we can start to see the building blocks of human intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
the ability to form concepts,
Right.
to understand relationships,
Right.
to take on different perspectives.
Yeah.
These aren't just human traits.
Okay.
They're principles of intelligence that can be applied to AI.
So it's about identifying those core principles of intelligence
Right.
that transcend biology and finding ways to translate them into algorithms and architectures
Exactly.
or AI systems.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. And Perez doesn't stop there.
Okay, where does he go next?
He takes this idea of development
Yeah.
even further
Okay.
and connects it to the evolution of societies as a whole.
Hmm.
He introduces this model called spiral dynamics.
The viral dynamic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which describes how cultures themselves evolve through these stages of values and consciousness.
So you're saying that just like individuals grow and learn,
Mhm.
entire societies go through their own kind of developmental process.
Exactly. Spiral dynamics identifies 8 stages,
Okay.
each representing a different level of complexity in how societies organize themselves
Okay.
and address challenges.
Right.
It starts with basic survival needs,
Oh, yeah.
moves through stages of power struggles,
Right.
rigid order,
Okay.
then to achievement-driven individualism,
Right.
and eventually towards more collaborative and holistic approaches.
Okay.
It's about increasing complexity in values and worldviews.
Okay, I'm following so far.
Yeah.
But how does this relate back to AI?
Right.
Are we talking about creating AI that can understand different cultures?
It's even more profound than that.
Okay.
Perez suggests that by understanding these stages
Yeah.
of societal evolution,
Huh.
we can start to design AI systems that are not just intelligent,
Okay.
but also aligned with human values
Okay.
and contribute to positive social development.
So instead of just focusing on AI that can outperform humans in specific tasks,
Yeah.
we need to think about how AI can help us solve the complex challenges we face as a society.
Exactly.
Challenges rooted in cultural values and how we interact with each other and the world around us.
Precisely. It's a much bigger picture than just building AI that can beat us at chess
Right.
or write a catchy jingle.
Yeah.
It's about AI that can help us build a better future. A future where technology serves humanity's highest goals.
That is a powerful idea.
Yeah.
But how do we ensure that AI actually aligns with those values?
Right.
It seems like a lot could go wrong if we're not careful.
That's the key question.
Yeah.
And it's one that Perez doesn't shy away from.
Yep.
He argues that this holistic, multidisciplinary approach
Yeah.
is essential for tackling the ethical challenges of AI.
Yeah.
We can't just focus on the technical aspects.
Right.
We have to consider the social, the psychological, even the philosophical implications of what we're creating.
So it's not just about building AI that's smart.
Right.
It's about building AI that's good.
Yeah.
AI that can help us create a better world for everyone.
Exactly.
It's a tall order,
It is.
but also incredibly exciting.
It is. And Perez is really pushing the boundaries here,
Yeah.
challenging us to think about AI in a completely different way.
Hmm.
It's not just about building smarter machines.
Okay.
It's about building machines that can help us understand ourselves better
Yeah.
and perhaps even build a better future together.
That's a great point. This whole conversation has been incredibly thought-provoking.
Yeah.
It's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of AI.
Yeah.
One that's less about artificial and more about intelligence in its truest sense.
Absolutely. And to understand this new era,
Yeah.
we need to delve deeper into the very essence of self-generation.
So we're talking about AI that can, in a sense, generate itself from within.
Yeah. It's a pretty wild concept.
It is. It really is.
And it goes back to that core idea of level 2, generative selves,
Right.
from Perez's book.
Yeah.
He's arguing that to create truly intelligent AI, we need to move beyond just programming them.
Okay. We need to create systems that have that same inherent drive
Yeah.
to learn, adapt, and evolve
Yeah.
that we see in living organisms.
It's almost like we need to shift our thinking from building AI to cultivating it. Like we're creating the conditions for intelligence to emerge
Yeah.
rather than trying to construct it piece by piece.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's about understanding that intelligence isn't just about algorithms and processing power.
Right.
It's about these complex systems interacting and learning from each other
Yeah.
and constantly evolving.
And this ties back to everything we've been talking about. The
Really?
strange loops, the inside-out architecture, the intrinsic motivation.
Exactly.
It's about creating AI that doesn't just react to the world,
Uh-huh.
but actively engages with it, learns from it, and even shapes it.
Exactly. And this raises some really profound questions about the future of AI
Yeah.
and our relationship with it.
Like what?
If we can create AI that can generate itself from within,
Okay.
develop its own internal models of the world,
Yeah.
and be driven by intrinsic motivation,
Right.
what does that mean for humanity?
That's a big question.
It is.
It makes you wonder if we need to rethink our whole approach to AI ethics. If these systems are more like living organisms,
Right.
constantly learning and evolving,
Yeah.
how do we ensure that they develop in a way that benefits humanity?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah,
And one that we as a society need to grapple with.
for sure.
It's not enough to just focus on building AI that's smart.
Okay.
We need to build AI that's wise.
Wise.
AI that understands the complexities of the human experience
Right.
and aligns with our deepest values.
So we're not just creating tools,
Yeah.
we're creating companions,
Right?
partners in this journey of understanding the universe and our place in it.
Exactly.
That's both exciting and a little bit daunting.
It is, but I think Perez's book offers a roadmap
Okay.
for navigating this uncharted territory.
Yeah.
By understanding the principles of self-generation.
By studying the development of human intelligence,
Oh,
both individually and collectively, we can start to design AI that's not just a reflection of ourselves,
Yeah.
but an extension of our highest aspirations.
It's like we're at a crossroads in the evolution of both technology and humanity.
Yeah.
And the choices we make now will have a profound impact on the future.
Mm-hmm.
Perez's book is a powerful reminder that we need to approach AI development with a sense of responsibility, humility, and a deep understanding of the human heart.